let's call it the economic ladder. No. The economic ladder has got the richest man in the world here, Elon Musk. 1 trillion. I don't know how to even write it. I don't have it. 1 trillion. And then it's got, let's say for now, it's got you here. No? The first step was for you to get someone to say everything that you have done for the past 20 years. Plus minus. No? I'm willing to pay you XYZ to participate on this ladder. No? Up to now, you're worth fuck all. No? Now you've managed. Remember yesterday I kept saying, no, go see Sia, we'll talk. Go see Sia, we'll talk. I get it. Until you see Sia and he says, I'll take you, I won't take you, I'll take you, I won't take you, I'll take you, I won't take that one, whatever. You are here. So for me, there was no conversation yesterday that we could have had that meant anything to me. Ever. To make it easier for you to talk to Sia, I then said that, listen, don't worry about accommodation, about where to stay. Don't even worry about transport for today and Tuesday. I get it. So that your only consideration is that come Tuesday night, you have a number on your head that says that, okay, I now am participating in this economy and this is my value in that economy. Your economic value. We still love you as a brother. We still love you as a cousin. We love you as an uncle. Don't worry. Ne? Keep going to church. If you go to church, whatever, we love you there. Don't worry. There you've got more than enough value. Economically, though, you are here. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm talking if you've... Okay, I'll give you the scenarios that come up. You are here. So that was for me number one. Go and get someone that says, I'll take you. If Sia looked at you guys and said, hey, Nin, I can only take 3, I can't take 4. One of you would have come back and you are still here. Remember, he also considers other things. He considers his business, but you'll see where the more we climb, we'll discuss those parts. You're still here.
Yeah.
The common one that happens is either you have an opportunity, ne? Or you are scared. And you decide to do what? You decide, no, let me go to varsity or let me go to wherever. I get it. Or you assess, maybe. No problem. My opinion is that all you are doing is you are saying, I'm going to come back here 3 years later, or 5 years later, or 7 years later, whatever it takes. However, I'll be here with a degree, with a diploma, with a... It's very unlikely that you'll do it with a qualification. I think a designation, but you are saying, I'll come back here with a thing. But it's because you believe that, yeah, at least if I've got this thing and I'm here, someone will be willing to take me for something, right? But in the true sense of the word, it does not change that you are here until someone does hire you. The stories you've heard that, hey, there are graduates that are sitting at home. Some are true, some are not true. Some are true without full context. Maybe they never applied. Maybe they applied, but they didn't get the job they're looking for, whatever. But for me, it doesn't change that you are here. All you did was you took 3 years to come back here and you felt bad. At home, we still loved you the way we love you. You're still cute. You're still what. All the things that was normal to you for the last 18 years or last 12 years, let me say. I get it. Especially, I'm speaking to men here, by the way. Ladies, I can have a conversation with them, but it's slightly different. I get it. Yeah, as a gent, that's what it is. I get sharp. So how do you climb here? As I said, someone sees something, and that something that he sees, we call it economic value. Again, it's the economic ladder. That's something that he sees is economic value. What is economic value? Oftentimes, you've got 2 legs, 2 hands, head on your shoulders, you can do something. Right? You'll see when you go to see us, you'll start you maybe sweeping the floor. You've got 2 hands, you've got 2 legs, you can sweep the floor. You've got ears, you can take instruction. You've got eyes, you can see where to put things. But you've got something. It's got economic value. You're not getting it because you are maybe even young, actually, funny enough. I get it. There are some jobs they're looking for young people to come do whatever. There are some jobs they don't care if you're young or old, as long as you're willing to do the job. But the criteria is you've got some sort of utility or economic value that we can give you. I get it. Sharp. The common joke is McDonald's will pay you $5 for flipping patties. I get it. And you get people that argue minimum wage is too low, it can be whatever. I get it. I'll tell you, the minimum wage can be whatever it wants. You see, I didn't start with minimum wage, I started with 0. Because until someone hires you, your minimum wage is 0. You are on 0. Yeah, but what about 350 Ramaphosa? And if you've got it, then it's fine. Good shot. Then it means you are at 350. I get it. But it's difficult to climb from government's 350. That one has its own ladder there. The ladder looks like this. That's the ladder. You can't climb it, you can't anything. You can argue every year, yeah, 350, 350, what. It's not a ladder. It's a Kistupo. I get it. Sharp. How do you climb the ladder? You increase your value to the marketplace. That's how you climb this ladder. What does increase the value to your marketplace mean? It depends where you guys are gonna start. It's fine. All of you guys are employed as whatever, waiters, sweepers, cleaners, dishwashers, whatever. But maybe when you whistle when you're doing it. It's always a food success. You've now distinguished yourself. Now I'm shy. So you wash quietly and you wash very clean, quietly. Someone can say, hey, you wash very clean, come back again tomorrow. Or someone doesn't notice. You don't come back tomorrow, somebody else comes back tomorrow. But what's starting to happen, characteristics beyond just having legs, eyes, ears are starting to pull themselves out. You were sweeping, you are done sweeping, you're sitting there, you saw a thing, a lady has been sitting down there, not whatever. You go to a waiter quickly and say, check out man, Kalan, he's been waiting. Sia sees that, or whoever, the manager sees that and says, hey, Tuba actually keeps an eye on customers. Says, hey, Tuba, come back tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, leave the broom. Come grab the apron. Why? You demonstrated a skill that we want. Someone that has got an eye for customers. I get it? And you climb, whatever. The people that did 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, now they were banking on the fact that, yeah, I might be here, but someone might be willing to start me here on the ladder. Let's say 12,000. Right? What do you bring at 12,000? It's fine. If you say do a mathematical computation, you do it for us, and then we're happy, then we charge the client, and then in exchange, we give you money. We say wear a suit, we say wear this, do that. You come, you do that. Me, I'm somewhere inside as well. If we've got Elon Musk here, all of us are somewhere inside here based on value. Right? And which then also even tells you, as you climb up, skills are normally this first part. A skill is something that you learned with your hand, with your legs, with your whatever learning. That's why they say skills will never get out of fashion. You learn to fix a table, you've got economic value. You learn to paint, you've got economic value. You learn to fix things in the roof, you've got economic value. You learn to sweep the floor, you've got economic value. It's a skill. The higher you go, it stops being skills and it starts being more knowledge. No? Knowledge doesn't necessarily mean books. That is why you get that if you've been doing something for 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, you start to develop knowledge from it. Now you start saying that I don't want to be the one that fixes that thing. Let me hire someone to fix it. I'll just have the knowledge of where to fix. Now you can lead 5, 6, 7, 8 people, which brings in another skill: leadership, management. We get to see that this guy actually, he doesn't necessarily have the skill, or he does have the skill, he's not the best at it, but actually when we go out the room, he can tell the gents, let's fix up the room. That's management, or that's leadership. When we have to make decisions, he says, no man, we don't need to talk to you, we've got it sorted out ourselves. That's leadership. We decided we were gonna do this. Yeah. At work, same thing. The more you show what he has in, we don't have to wait for someone to say take out the dustbin. I can see it's full. Say, where do we take out the dustbins here? Or even just take a walk quickly. Dustbin. Let me go. You're like dustbin. Next time, say, Joe, someone like dustbin. That's also leadership, because you're now showing someone else where to go through it away. The value climbs more and more. By the time you get to, as I say, Elon Musk's level, you are selling a combination of things, but it's skill, knowledge, leadership, management, predominantly. And I can tell you now, all of them, you can have them here. And that's why starting is important, because at least it gets you going. I get it. You might have already inside of you 50,000 rand, whatever, knowledge, leadership, whatever, but without the opportunity to start, you can't demonstrate it. What you get paid will always be what was the last person willing to pay you, and what did you negotiate, what did you manage to convince me to pay you now going forward. If you've never started, why must I start? Why must I be the first one to pay you 15? Why must I be the first one to pay you 50? So that's also for me why it's important. For example, I've never done a waitering job, to be frank. But I worked Pasar Sagwa. I was 12. Started go there, the container. Then I started working there, the till register. So now by the time I got to grade 12, I had 8 years experience selling behind the till. Then I also did that for my other uncle, Colin Popo, selling behind the till. And then you keep learning along the way, whatnot. Your value is gonna fluctuate. What's important as a man is to start. Because once you start to get feedback. Then what you do with that feedback is what now takes you up the ladder. You go there, you smile, they don't like your smile. Maybe a smile is not valuable in this environment. You go there, you be friendly. They love friendliness in this environment. One of the reasons I like Sia and Tasha's, Sia used to own a Tasha's Yago Nikaway. Not this one here. This one is the latest one. You own the one Yago Nikaway, Nelson Mandela Drive. When they sat down, white ladies came into the shop holding flowers. Sia, how are you? I haven't seen you in a while. What the hell is going on? Black men kissing white women. Old women, 50s, 60s. And I just sat there and I observed what's going on here. First of all, I was impressed. Hey man, is this you here? Hey, Sia. I've been here. I've had family members come to Gauteng. I've been hearing people come to Gauteng. This is the first time I can see. No, you are in Gauteng. Yeah, everyone else that I know in Gauteng, ngizwile nje. Even me, you can say, I was on the phone, we don't believe you until we see, hi, Chief. Yeah, sure. Busy, but I haven't given you evidence. But you see, you saw today, outside this parking lot, you saw, get a Porsche.
Yeah,
Bentleys.
Yeah, Bentleys.
Oh, even Bentleys.
Yeah.
What does he have? What does he have on the ladder? He has something. That's prime property. That's the richest square mile in Africa. The man has a restaurant right there.
Yes, as I said.
Eh?
I said.
As who said?
I said it no money.
Yeah.
Hotel.
The man has a restaurant there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's his.
It is.
He's got something. He's got charisma. He's got whatever. He's got it. You name it, he's got it. And the market shows him that he's got it. The market comes every month, every week to come there and eat an expensive steak. And they leave your Sanyama here, Yamo Station. Yeah. So for me also, why it was important for you guys to go there as well. Ne? As far as I've seen economics and the opportunities that young men have, I sat there and I was like, if I could redo my start, I started go with the uncle's shop. I don't know if I would start there again, but I started there. That's my reality. I would have done it. Because when I met Sia, it was 2017-18. I was already doing my honors in accounting. And I said, Flip, man, hey, I want to come work for you here. I said, no, I can come more, what. But I never had time. I never went. But I did his books 1 year. Did his accounting, whatever. So at least then I started now again playing alongside that same value and seeing what does it take. So even there, now from what I saw, it's the best. That's why Mpo immediately Sia said that I told Mpo started there when last year he was second year already. Why? Because I already knew that, hey, Chief, listen, I've done accounting. The skills you're gonna learn in accounting, they're extremely valuable. But the skills you need for the economic ladder, it's not just accounting. There are many, many accountants that are never gonna see some of these amounts that are on the ladder. If I was you, my younger brother, go and job shadow this guy. Sia owned the Tashas in Nicolway, and then there was one more, the Mark, in front of the JSE. Then there was one in Athlone as well in Sandton. So there were 3 Tashas that Sia was running alone, all in Sandton. Before he decided, let me just, LVX actually approached him. We're starting a new mall. It's LXX, it's luxury. That's the name of the mall, Luxury Mall. Yeah, we are starting next to Discovery Building. You've got the best Tashas in the country. The Tashas are here, they Nicolway, actresses, athletes came there. I thought, hey man, tell me, is it more valuable to be an accountant at some unknown firm? Let's say you are earning 25,000 at the age of 25, 26, or to be a waiter. Let me do what typically we'll do. Let's say for argument's sake, 8,000 at 21, 22. Which is more valuable, to be an accountant at 25 at an accounting firm, or to be a waiter at Tasha's LXX? At 21, 20, 22.
I'd say a waiter at Tasha's, because by that time you're probably still in varsity, you're pushing your degree, and then at the same time you're getting an income.
Okay. What do you think?
This one has more years to experiment.
Okay.
Than the one at 25, 26.
What if I tell you this one at 25, at 21, 22, they were earning 12,000? 21, 22.
I'd say that this path is kept. I mean, okay. I say that he or she is in a big company first of all, where he's probably okay. Let me not say he's not going to be noticed. However, it's going to be more challenging to be noticed than the one at Tasha's
As a waiter.
as a waiter.
Okay, I can tell you there are 2 or 3 more positions above here. It's the person that does the shifts. It's the manager. It's Sia.
I mean, also with this one,
Yeah.
you get more exposure to, as you said, celebrities and all that, or artists and all that. So if, say, someday you impress someone or a customer who happens to have expertise or need some sort of assistance in a field or in his business, yeah.
Tato, what do you think?
Hey, nazamana with Tasha's.
Yes, someone like Tasha's. Why?
Yeah, for me. But I think it's because I would lose Tasha's. I showed it's 21
Yeah.
to 22, to 8,000 at the age of 25 to 26. Zaba dlalela kuphi?
Yeah.
Also, this one has more responsibility.
That's something we'll never know. Yeah. Obviously, there's no right or wrong answer. The whole point is valid to think about. It's an economic ladder. You get all sorts of. You get people that are 50 with 4 kids and a wife that are earning 8,000.
Yeah.
You get at 25,000. You get people that are 35 with a wife and kid.
While we're on this one, I know Obana Lesedi.
Oh yeah, your friend said yeah.
Yeah, his father has a friend. So that friend has a son. The son went to university for an IT degree. Did like 2 years. I think he's still doing it now. But then he's been offered a position at this other private company. He earns, his contract is like 1.5
Okay.
per year. Yeah.
So we have a 20-year-old
Yeah, 20-year-old.
20-year-old at 1.5 million. But here's what I want you to see. Do you see it's not your age that puts you on the economic ladder?
Yeah.
It's amounts. This is 1 trillion, this is 0 rands. It's your amounts that put you there. You mentioned that he did an IT degree or is doing an IT degree, so it means it's skills and knowledge / expertise that is putting him there. What does Elon Musk do to deserve 1 trillion? Do you think that's a lot of money, by the way?
1 trillion.
Yeah.
I've never seen. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
If Elon said to the stakeholders of Tesla that I'm gonna make you guys 450 trillion, is this a lot of money?
What? 1 trillion
1
compared
trillion.
to... No,
Yeah.
it's not. It's not.
So do you think it was difficult for Elon to ask for 1 trillion? For him, it wasn't difficult. It obviously would be difficult for you, but for him, it wasn't.
Yeah.
But do you see that now? This is the other thing. Again, I said it. I called it what value. What value you bring to the marketplace, because that's the other thing that counts as well. Ne? Yeah. If you are making 1,000 rands, and that's the best that you have, all your skills, all your knowledge, all your expertise, the best they can give you is 1,000 rand for where you are, right? Find out, Uri, is there somebody that you can help with those skills, with that knowledge, whatever, make more, and they'll pay you more. CEO of Coca-Cola, he gets 80 million US dollars. And then you say that's a lot of money. And then they tell you that, yeah, but he helps Coca-Cola make 80 billion. It's US dollars. This is 1% of 80 billion. So he can argue he's underpaid.
Neil Froneman.
Neil Froneman, my CEO, Spanye, he got paid 359 million rands. And then South Africa said, hey, in a country with so much poverty, how can he, whatever, what. I'm a shareholder, you know that. I'm a shareholder in Spanye. I said, this guy looks after 80,000 employees. That's 80,000 families that this guy is taking care of. We make 185 billion a year in revenue.
Yeah.
I said 359 million is nothing.
Yeah.
It's global standards. It's what? It's 20. It's about 20 million US dollars. Said leave my CEO alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's skills, it's expertise, it's knowledge that climbs you up here. One of the biggest ones that make you climb up here, which is why I wanted you guys to go work Gotashas, why I wanted Mpho to go work Gotashas, why I regret not having had the opportunity to work Gotashas. One of the biggest ones is sales. You don't learn sales anywhere else. Well, obviously there are a lot of places, but you don't get easy places to learn sales. All of us are scared of rejection. All of us are scared of sales. Is what? Sales is putting a value to something and then saying to someone, but you can get it for less than the value. So by getting it, you get a profit. By buying this thing from me, you get a profit. So when someone speaks about good customer service, what are they actually saying? They're saying to you that, hey man, increase your value proposition for this thing that you are selling me. Don't just come and treat me like I'm not paying a lot of money for this meal that I'm gonna eat. Yeah. So for me, Tasha's teaches you that if someone gives you a plate of food and throws it to you, you will say, hey man, I'm paying a lot of money to be given